Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis, and breaking scoreboards. Simone of the Olympics, defense and big business. The Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the 3 in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bell in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
Yo, what's really good, man? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, and the Street Sports, man, what's popping? All right? Look, we got a lot to unpack. A lot to unpack today. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna have to do a few things right quick, you know what I'm saying, to make sure we can enjoy this stream today because, we got some things to talk about. Hold on right quick. I mean, we man,
Right, you definitely just
hello?
disappeared.
You seen it? I seen
Yeah,
it.
you definitely just disappeared. I saw Joe Biden, and next thing you know, you was out of here.
Now I seen Joe Biden. You know you know what that mean if you seen that first. Oh snap. Okay.
Right.
Look.
That's a no
All right,
no.
we back good. We
Yeah, we
back
good.
good. We good.
Yeah, we good. I'm
All
off.
right. All right, for sure, for sure. Man, shout out to Hooley. You feel me? He the man behind the magic, man. He makes sure everything stay copacetic and looking good on the screen. But let's talk about it, man. I've been on Twitter for a minute. I know I ain't streamed in a minute, but I've been on Twitter just going, having different dialogues with different sets of people. A lot of Browns fans, a lot of Cleveland fans. And one thing about our Cleveland fan base is we are passionate about our team. We give a fuck about the ongoings and becoming ofs or nots of our team. And when it comes down to this Baker situation and Deshaun Watson, we got to talk about the reality in the state of the Cleveland franchise. Okay. All right. Let's start with the fact that right now the Browns are a title contender, even without a necessary quarterback in place. They're a title contender. So when you actually add a competent quarterback that can help make the people around you better, that makes the Browns almost a shoe-in for a Super Bowl. Now, mind you, the Browns are one of the few franchises who've never been to a Super Bowl. Not only not has won one, but never even been in attendance as a competitor. Right? This is something that this franchise and this current regime is trying to change, and they've been building up that for quite a few years now. Not even just the last 2 years, over the last several, like five. We've all said and we've all commented how the previous regimes before this one, the two in particular, definitely helped shape what we got now. But we got to be realistic about why we're just not getting here now. Okay? And I want to talk about the first thing I want to talk about before I even get into the Deshaun Watson and Baker details. I want to go on to the number one thing that bothers me about a lot of the Cleveland fan base, especially the white fan base. And now, when I say this, man, I'm not saying this to be on no type of trash. I'm just going to be honest, okay? There's no way you grew up in Cuyahoga County or in Ohio and you don't know that the city of Cleveland is racist. There's no way you've been a sports fan or a Cleveland sports fan for umpteen years and you don't know that anytime a black person is to be the face of any franchise in Cleveland, there's always conflict and problems. Even when LeBron was here, and he was the face of the franchise. Y'all gave him conflict and problems. All right, and we're not going to act like that didn't happen. Nobody had no reason to be mad at LeBron, but yet these white folks find every reason to be mad at LeBron. It makes no sense. People talk about, oh, people don't want Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson was accused by 22 girls of sexual misconduct. Last time I checked, bruh, I'm pretty sure I know 22 women who could tell the same lie, especially when a millionaire is involved. It's not like this is just a random guy, okay? I, I don't understand how a guy has a clean record his whole life. You can't pull up one bad thing on Deshaun Watson his entire life. But as soon as he asks for a trade to leave from this particular franchise, all of a sudden now he's a bad guy. He's a rapist and all this old extra. Man, what the fuck?
You just
Man, what the
disappeared.
fuck? What the fuck? Am I back now?
Yeah, you back.
All right. So
Hey,
what I
that
was
was
saying.
crazy though. I had a video. I ain't dropped it, but I said the same thing because Bridget, when she was saying that shit, I'm like, man, listen.
Hey,
I know 22 people from every neighborhood that are lie.
that tell the same lie, bruh. Not just a lie, but will try to go off on the same lie, bruh,
Right,
and act like
right.
they ain't fucking lying.
Hey,
Like,
but
come on, man.
we gonna say that. We gonna say this for another one, man.
I
More
got you.
Baker. We gonna
I'm gonna
say
keep.
that for another
I got you.
because I want to do a whole
I'm gonna keep it
little.
pushing.
Yeah, I want to do a whole little discussion about that little whole situation. We probably gonna do that on the other page, but yeah,
For sure. We
for sure.
definitely gonna
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, we definitely
For
gonna do
sure.
that. Baker,
We
Baker,
gonna
and all that. Let's get back on it. I'm out.
let's get back. So, you know, me, you know, me personally, like I say, I know 22 people can tell the same lie. But even outside of that, if we just stick to football, right? If we stop adding all these personal things, because what blows me is you're talking about Deshaun Watson, who somebody virtually fabricated the information on. I mean, you got to be realistic about what's going on. But Baker Mayfield has a documented history of being a locker room cancer, being immature, and being a player who doesn't evolve his game. We have 4 years of proof of this. All right. Now it's taking you, oh, I don't want to lose Baker. And if I lose Baker, I don't want to be a Browns fan. Well, we don't want you. As a Browns fan, I can speak for all real diehard Browns fans where if you're choosing a player over the franchise, we don't want you. We don't want you associated with us. We don't care. All right? Because for once, the Browns are actually making moves they need to make. They're doing things that they need to do. Deshaun Watson, as our quarterback, makes us the number one team in the NFL. All right? It will come down to, hey, what do we give up for Deshaun? Now, let's get into this whole Deshaun thing, all right? Because half of the fan base didn't even believe we were even in a position to get Deshaun Watson. They didn't even think that we had a talented enough team or a competent regime to even convince him to come here. And now, if you've been following me, if you've been watching these lives, I've been saying since Deshaun Watson came under investigation. Not only was he innocent, and this whole situation was too coincidental and fraudulent, but I also said Cleveland was the number one team in position to acquire him.
Like
I said,
probably like 10 minutes ago, they said he gonna make his
mhm.
decision by the end of the night. But I'm hearing it's looking like he might be going home.
To the Falcons.
Yeah.
Okay, so This is where I need people, all right, and not you, bro, but I just need other people to use context clues to come to a logical decision. Bro, did anybody notice that the only teams that the Texans allowed Deshaun to talk to were all in the NFC South? Did anybody peek that? Outside of Tom Brady was Tampa Bay, the NFC South is arguably the worst division in football. Carolina, Atlanta, the Saints, and the Bucks. The Saints have a very good team. The
Yeah,
Saints don't got no,
I was hearing the Saints too.
but the Saints don't got no money, bruh. In order for them to trade for Deshaun Watson,
They got to
they're
get rid
not
of.
gonna trade.
They got to get rid of
They
his
got
what?
Kamara contract, Michael Thomas contract. What they about to re-sign him to? You still got Marcus Lattimore contract, Cameron Jordan contract, Demario Davis contract. They just signed Marcus May, bruh. And then listen, after the Saints were supposed to be the number one, they went and signed Marcus May. Unlike Cleveland, who's been clearing cap the whole process. Come on, Brad. Context clues matter. Carolina would give up and probably have the most to give up to get him, but then he would go somewhere where he doesn't have a team. Deshaun Watson' number one priority is being able to compete. You tell me or try to convince me that Atlanta, Carolina, or the Saints can give him a better contend now team than the Cleveland Browns. There's no way you're telling me that. There's no way on God's green earth or on any planet that of whatever color that you're going to convince me that that's real. In my opinion, it was all a smokescreen. The Texans said, "Listen, we only trading you to the NFC." Deshaun said, "You made that shit up. I got the no trade clause." They probably said, "Oh, we'll let you sit for a year." Deshaun Watson said, "Once I get proved or acquitted or found not being able enough to be charged, how can you justify keeping me on the bench for a whole nother year? You can't. And you're doing nothing but bring your franchise down and bringing shitty things to it. So why would you do that?" The Browns were the only team outside the NFC North or the NFC South given a chance to talk to Deshaun. That clearly tells you that he picked them. Not that the Texans picked them, but he picked them. The Browns had to submit a trade offer to even get a sit down with Deshaun that the Texans had to approve. So whatever our trade offer is, it's already been approved. All right. People say, "Oh, Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams." Listen, let me tell you something. There will probably be not a defensive player involved in this trade. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be shocked if there was not a player at all involved in this trade. You know why? Because Deshaun contract is only 35 million. They trade for Deshaun and trade Baker simultaneously. They just got back 19 million that they could put towards the 35 million that Deshaun will make this year. We just Hooper's gone, Jarvis is gone, Shredder is gone. Bro, that's $32 million back in cap just with those three players alone. We traded Mac Wilson, so his $2-3 million contract is back on the books. Come on, bro. Even if we trade our first round pick this year, that's still another $8 to $10 million back on the books. We traded for Amari Cooper and took on his $20 million contract, but all his shit guaranteed this year, which means there's no cap hit for him next year. Come on, man. Know who you dealing with, bro. The Browns been the front runner the whole time, and I've been telling people that the Browns was the front runner. I counted on the spaces last night and told them there's a 95% chance Watson's coming to Cleveland. The question is, what are we going to do with the rest of the team, like the special teams, the interior run defense? You gotta know, bro. Every time I say something, y'all would think me and Andrew Berry on the fucking phone. Because right after I got off the spaces asking what we gonna do about the special teams, the Browns announced that they signed J.Q. Grant to a 3-year worth up to $13.8 million to be the official kick return. Cleveland was always known for its special team return game, and in the last 4 or 5 years, we ain't been known for shit in that. So shout out to AB in that front office for simultaneously linking Watson in while bringing the special teams guy. Perfect guy we need. And he could be a guy that could be probably a great leader in that room for a Felton or a Swartz if we're using them as alternate return guys as well. And I wouldn't even rule out the fact that they might even bring in a young guy, a drafted guy, or a rookie guy. Hold on. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in an undrafted guy or a rookie guy, or or somebody, unsigned free agent to help compete in that room. All right, because they like competition. Um, then the Browns brought back Anthony Walker after they signed Taven Bryan. So I like Taven Bryan. I've been saying for a long time that I think Taven Bryan was fit with our team, and AB thought the same thing because at 6'6", 290 pounds, all right, a guy who ran like a 4.7 at the damn combine, who bench pressed at least 20 to 25, who had like 25 reps at the combine, all right, and he's already been in the league like 4 years, 5 years. Dude, he's only 26. So we lose the Maliks, but we gain a Taven, we bring back Anthony Walker. All of these signs tell me that AB and them already knew what they was doing. They knew who they was going after, and they knew who they was going to get. So Deshaun Watson is going to be a Brown. And a lot of you just have to suck it up. If you don't like Deshaun Watson being our quarterback, bro, feel free to find you another fucking team. We don't care. I'm going to be honest with you. Because if you're using the 22 allegation, what does the word allegation mean? What does the word accusation mean? This man sat out for a whole year plus and was detailed investigated by multi-billion-dollar corporations. And after all of that, he was found there was not enough evidence to convict this man or to even charge this man enough to take him to court. So if you're basing you don't want Deshaun Watson off that and you're white, I'm calling you racist. Period. Because you're not making a decision off facts. You're going off feelings. Period. It doesn't matter what you believe. It matters what you can prove. That is how the court of law works. Nobody, not even the women that can accuse him, can prove that. So he's playing football. Oh, the NFL gonna suspend him, bruh. Do you think anybody be trying to trade for Deshaun that they thought he was gonna be sitting out 10, 12, 14 games or a whole season? What y'all not considering the fact is that Deshaun voluntarily sat out a whole year. He complied with every part of the investigation that he was asked of. What is not being publicized is, even though it was 22 women, only 10 of them went on the actual criminal charge. So what happened to the other 12? What they're not talking about is all the inconsistencies up until that point. So I'm saying, if you're basing your dislike for Deshaun Watson off a created accusation that he never had once before, ever in his life before this, I don't need you as a colleague of a Browns fan. I don't need you as a co-fan. I don't even want to be in the same room with you. I don't even want to be in the same conversation with you. Because at the end of the day, as a black man who was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio, you're only showing me the level of far how racism goes. Baker is a trash quarterback. And I'm not saying he's a trash quarterback to try to downplay him like he doesn't have talent. I'm saying he's a trash quarterback because he's the number one overall pick. Has been in the league 4 years. You still can't read defense, and you're still highly immature. People say, "Oh, why did Baker post the letter?" Y'all can't be this slow, bro. You cannot tell me y'all this damn stupid. Baker posted the letter. Mind you, he posted the letter as Andrew Berry and Haslam and Kevin Stefanski is coming back from the meeting with Watson. I'm gonna tell you it's smarter to go that way, but Morocco is literally the next. Is it the next one? Yeah, it should be. It's the very next. It's the best spot. You good. All right, as you can see, I'm at work. All right, my man, look at my guy. You feel me? I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? I just came to talk to you all on my break. All right. If you know anything about you see this uniform and you know where I work at, we don't have to talk about that. All right. But feel free to DM me. We can talk
You
about that later.
breaking up a
All
little.
right.
You breaking up.
Hello.
Yeah, you breaking up.
Wait a minute. Am I breaking up now? All right. What about right now?
I can hear you good. You breaking up
What
on
I
the.
sound like now?
You sound straight now. You was just breaking up on the look side, but you good.
On the string. Okay. Heard. Oh, okay. Heard. Yeah. So anyway, while I still got like 15 minutes left, let me get into some things that's important to me about the Browns. All right. Once Deshaun Watson officially announced he's coming to the Browns, people want to know what's involved in the trade. A bunch of draft picks, bro. If anybody is involved in this trade as a player, it's Kareem Hunt. If it's going to be any other player that's involved in this trade, bro, I highly doubt it, to be honest. And I don't even think Kareem Hunt is involved in the trade. That I just think that the Browns prepared just in case the Texans wanted him. But the Texans don't have a running back. So taking Kareem Hunt really is kind of ideal for them because, clearly they're going to run it back with Davis Mills. When you at work, you can't control what goes on in the background, yo. I appreciate you all tuning in and working with me, though. I also believe that Jadeveon Clowney will remain a Brown. Deshaun coming back. Jadeveon played with Deshaun. He would love to play with Deshaun again and play in the Browns for more Myles Garrett. I could definitely see Jadeveon getting the $15 million a year from the Browns. All right, at least. I said he's going to get a 4-year, $64 million deal, and he's going to get like 40 of it up front. Base salary of $10 million a year, and he can earn an extra 6 to 7 through his play. I think that's a great contract. Denzel Ward, I don't think Denzel Ward is a part of the trade to the Texans. I just feel like the Texans are trying to rebuild. They're going to acquire as many draft picks as they can get. If they don't got to take on a player that they're going to end up having to make a decision on later, and they could just get 7 picks. Bro, if I give you 6 draft picks for one player, you're not asking me for no fucking player back. I give you 3 number ones. I give you 2 seconds in the third or 2 seconds in the fourth. Bro, you're not going to. I just gave you 6 picks for one player. Oh, well, Russell Wilson went for three players, and 5 picks. Russell Wilson also is a 30-year-old quarterback with a ring. Russell Wilson has also been to the Super Bowl twice. So even though we may feel like Deshaun is younger and more talented, he doesn't have the resume Russell Wilson has. So even though he's going to go for something like what Russell Wilson has went for, he's not going to go for what Russell Wilson went for because he is not Russell Wilson. And that's just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Now, in a secondary, I don't think the Browns really need anything because I feel like you got 5 good corners and you got 3 good safeties. But if you're telling me that Richard LeCounte and AJ Green are going to be more special teams and sub package players versus actual regular rotation players, then I could see the Browns bringing in some safety. Now, if they bring in a safety, I'm saying they should go get Jabril Peppers and bring him back to this team. Because I would just love to see Miles, Njoku, and Jabril back on the team. And I would love to see Jabril playing the way he should be playing, moving around the defense, playing a little linebacker, playing a little safety, playing a little kick return, getting in on the offense sometimes. That's what I would like to see from a Jabril Peppers, bro, especially in a Cleveland Browns uniform. That would be awesome. Um, as far as the draft go, with this Deshaun Watson pick, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to give up to 13. There's a good chance that we're probably still going to have the 44th. I would expect that pick to go on the best player available. And I believe by the time you get to the 44th pick in the draft, the best player available will be a receiver. So the question is, which receivers will be available? I'm going to tell you right now, there is a name that nobody is talking about that has been forgotten that I feel like the Browns would easily pick up on because everybody else has forgotten how talented this guy is, and that's Justin Ross, the receiver that was at Clemson and came in a year after Deshaun left. All right. I would not be surprised at all if the Browns took Justin Ross with the 44th pick. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Christian Watson or Christian Walker, but I don't think he's going to be still there on the board when that time comes. They could definitely take a defensive lineman, but I think at 44 is going to be the best player available. I'm just assuming the best player available is going to be a receiver. They have two picks in the third, one from compensatory. They have two picks in the fourth, I think, or they got two picks in the fifth and one in the fourth. However, what the Browns are building right now is depth and special teams. I would not be surprised if the Browns spent the offseason before the draft just acquiring, veteran talent. There's a lot of rumblings that once Deshaun Watson makes it known that he's coming to Cleveland, that Allen Robinson is going to come to Cleveland. Ain't it crazy? Didn't I say Cooper
Right.
Robinson will be coming to Cleveland? Did I?
Okay,
You
okay,
know,
okay. Hold on. So what if he don't
if
come to
Watson
Cleveland?
doesn't come to Cleveland,
If he don't come to
if
Cleveland,
if
he
if
didn't.
Watson doesn't come to Cleveland,
Before you go.
no, I got you. I was saying this in the spaces earlier. If Watson doesn't come to Cleveland, all right, Baker still gets traded. The Browns still have Case Keenum. Would they bring in a guy? I think you would have to. Um, but if the Browns don't get Deshaun, which means they keep their first round pick this year, I will fully expect um, Andrew Berry to trade back with that pick to pick up a pick next year. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did it just twice during the draft. Is move back, collected picks specifically for next year, so he would have ammunition to move up and draft a C.J. Stroud or a Bryce Young for next year. This season will probably be Case Keenum. You could see them bring back Nick Mullins. I highly doubt they go after any of these other quarterbacks. David Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota. None of those guys are coming. You know why? Because this regime wants to pick their own quarterback. They've been wanting to pick their own quarterback from day one. And for everybody asking why didn't they sit Baker when he was injured, because they needed to show the fan base that Baker wasn't it. Baker wasn't mature enough to say, hey, I'm too injured to play. I would like to see the team succeed whether I'm part of it or not. He was selfish. And instead of taking responsibility, he pointed it at everybody else. And guess what? What happens at any job? When you take shots at your boss the one that controls your environment. They're going to make your life a living hell. And you have to deal with it or find another place of employment. You know what I'm saying? So again, let me just reiterate. If the Browns do not trade for Watson, which I think is a 5% chance that don't. I'm almost up to say that it's a 0.7% chance that shit don't happen. But if it don't, the Browns will run with Case Keenum and Nick Mullins. They might bring in an undrafted guy just to see how he develops, but they'll be positioning themselves to have their team in place already. So next season they can move up and draft a guy they need. But two, if they do that, it's gonna be a bad season for Cleveland because I don't think Davian will resign at that point. I don't think Allen Robinson will come over here at that point. And I just think, a few things will happen that'll just probably cause some rift this year. Not necessarily like incompetency type of thing, But it just, the Browns fan base is impatient. We've been waiting for years. We waited on this thing to develop. And if they saying we gotta wait another year, next year to get the franchise guy, this fan base is gonna have a shit fit, especially with no base. So to me, that's what I think will happen if we don't get him. I just think the plan is, regardless of what happened, they're going to get the QB of their choice, not something they settle for, not something they think that's the only thing they can get. They're going to go for the QB of their choosing. You know what I'm saying? Hello?
I can dig it. I can
Yeah.
dig it.
So,
You was breaking up a little
you
bit,
know
but
what I'm
you
saying?
good.
Oh, my fault, my fault. But yeah, though, y'all. And again, I always want to touch on a point before I get off of here about a conversation I was just having on Twitter. All right. I just want to reiterate this. All right. Cleveland sports history has never embraced a black person, male or female, being the face of a franchise or the face of a city. Okay. I'll just go as simple as this. Mayor Mike White was the last black mayor we had at the end of the 1900s. When Mayor Mike White left office, Cleveland officials or their media, the newscasters said Cleveland was $9 million in debt behind Mike White, and they were also trying to blame Mike White personally for Odell moving the Browns. Right? If you know anything of your history, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, just to kind of find out after they done basically forced Mike White out of office to find out that he had the whole city of Cleveland on a $12 million surplus. And to find out 10 years after that, that the Cuyahoga County officials were basically taking that money and using it to fill their own pockets. That was the last time we had a black mayor. Now we have another black mayor in 2022. So it took the city 22 years to hire another black mayor, but we have Frank Jackson and Jane Campbell for how long? And where did they actually do to help the city? All right. The Cleveland Cavaliers. I see. I just froze. I see it. Mm. All right. Well, I think my time is done here. I don't know if y'all can still hear me. I don't even know if I'm still in the building. Mm.